Scholastic Audio presents Judy and the Beast, a Goosebumps SlappyWorld story by R.L. Stine, read by Emily Lawrence, with Joe Fria as Slappy. Back home, I didn't believe my dad when he told me about a wild beast that was on the loose up here. I didn't believe him then, and I didn't believe him now. What a laugh. As I said, Dad is the worst liar on earth. His cheeks turn bright pink when he makes up stories like that, and he can't look you in the face. He'd be a terrible poker player. He always gives away everything he's thinking. But how to explain the disgusting sounds I was hearing in the dining room? Could it really be Baker Grendel eating like that? Was that why he ate alone in a private dining room? I knew I should turn around, go back down the hall, and find Dad and Ira, but I was frozen there by the door, listening to the chomping and growling. I had to know who or what was making that noise. I had to see with my own eyes. My hand trembled as I grabbed the doorknob. I started to turn it. But my hand flew off and I let out a scream as the door swung open in my face. "Hey!" I cried. The heavy door shot open with such force it sent me stumbling backward. I hit the wall, struggled to catch my breath, and stared at the big, wild-haired man in the doorway. His dark eyes blinked several times. I think he was as startled as I was. His wiry white hair spiked up from his head in all directions, as if he'd been struck by lightning. He held a white linen napkin in one hand and used it to mop the orange sauce from his long white beard. He also had orange and brown food stains on the front of his baggy white shirt. I stammered. He was a giant, so wide he filled the doorway. He gave his beard one final wipe with the napkin, then narrowed his eyes at me.
"I thought I heard someone outside the door,"
he said. His voice was low and gravelly and seemed to come from deep in his bulging chest. Yes, I stammered. I could feel my face go hot and knew I was blushing.
"You must be Judy,"
he boomed.
"My wife told me about you."
I nodded. "Yes, I wanted to come with my dad this year," I said, finally finding my voice. He covered his mouth with the napkin and burped loudly.
"I'm just finishing my dinner,"
he said. So that really was him devouring his food like a wild animal.
"I'd invite you in,"
he continued,
"but I prefer to dine alone. I'll come greet you and your family after you have your dinner with Hilda."
I opened my mouth to answer, but he closed the door before I could get a sound out. I stood there for a long moment with my back against the wall. My thoughts were spinning through my head. I kept picturing the splotches of orange sauce in his white beard. His hair so wild and unbrushed. His dark eyes studying me. Dad said that Baker was weird. He wasn't kidding about that. Finally, I turned and made my way to the front of the house. I found Ira standing at the bottom of the stairs beneath the elk head. I trotted up to him. "Ira, listen to me," I started. "Where were you?" he asked. "Dad and I were looking for you." I pointed to the other hall. "Down there. I was at Baker Grendel's private dining room. I couldn't believe it." Ira frowned at me. "You're not supposed to go in that wing." "He was eating his dinner," I said, ignoring Ira's words. "It sounded like a wild animal was in there." I had to take a breath. It sounded like a tiger devouring a live pig or something. To my surprise, Ira tossed his head back and laughed. Huh? I cried. What's so funny?
You'll find out, he said.